welcome back to another episode of MEC Mansol's interview series. This is Ashwin Channel, your host, and today with me is Adishankar Tanuja, founder, secretary general of GCB MUN, and mentor to GECB Mansol. Welcome, Adishankar, to our interview series, and thank you for accepting our invitation. Um, Adishankar, how are you doing today? How's life been?
Well, hello Ashwin, good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me, man. So it's lockdown, as you know, and I've been sitting duck at home, doing some internship and looking for a job, just going like that, and yeah, just like simple stuffs.
Yeah, the quarantine's been pretty protective, I guess. All right, let's start our conversation or start our interview uh, from the starting of your MUN career as such. Right, Adishankar, how did you come across a word called MUN, and which was your first MUN conference, and what was your preconceptions before you started MUN? As in, you must have heard the word, and then you must have had some preconceptions about attending an MUN conference. What is in your mind, and can you share a bit of your experiences during attending your first MUN as such? Over to you, Adishankar.
Uh, Talking about my first MUN and how I came to this stuff, man. I think it was back in November, December 2016 when I received a mail saying that they are looking for ambassadors, MUN college ambassadors for TKM1. So I never heard about what this stuff MUN is. So anyway, I applied for that thing, and after say in December or something, I received a mail back saying that okay, you have been selected as the college ambassador. So here two things are to be noted: that first, I don't know what the college ambassador was, and the second thing, I don't know much about the MUN stuff. So I had to research for both the things, and I came to know that I found that meaning. And regarding MUN, I still had that doubt lingering around till I attended the first month, which was the TKM month, and the TKM members, the people of that TKM one, helped me a lot in understanding, in giving me an introduction like what is an MUN and what is the stuff. And I should be honest by saying that I was kind of anxious to not so chill about doing an MUN, mainly because they don't know what an MUN was. And despite me inviting them, nobody came. Anyway, I just went to TKM, and I came to see people all dressed in formals. And yeah, I met you there, man. I met you there. You were sitting next to me. You came all the way from Kochi to attend the TKM one. And I was like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. People are coming all the way from Kochi to attend the MUA. And you were like writing many stuffs, noting down many points, and talking international relations stuffs. And I was like, okay. So anyway, and when I went into the room, I'll share you a funny experience that there was the international press committee, and before that they came in and came into the committee room, and they were like, whatever you tell here, you tell it from the stance of your country, and any violation, any wrong thing you say will be noted, and you'll be labeled as an international liar. So I was like, okay. I was worried, man. Does it really? They call me a liar and stuff. And finally, that was a funny experience. And I came to know that, okay, MUN is a simulation of the actual UN stuff. And this is how things happen in the real UN thing. And yes, I kind of liked it very much. Very much, I liked it for the first time, because of which I have been doing a lot of MUNs after that, which ended up with the starting of the GCB MUN, and yeah, like that.
Thank you for sharing such a funny experience. Yeah, I remember meeting you for the first time there. Uh, yeah, all our first MUNs, there are some of these funny incidents that we tend to remember and all that. But moving on, as in for a first timer, I mean, right now, for a first timer, Mansa, a lot of people are not familiar with what a MUN is and what are the advantages of it as such. Do you think money has brought a change in your life? Has it, helped you in your career? Has it changed your personality? Um, what is your experience with creating new networks as such? So, what I'm basically telling you is, can you share some of the advantages you've had through attending MUNs and going through different MUNs throughout India as such? Adishankar.
Well, thank you, Ashwin, for that question. Because the people who are listening to this, maybe listening to this, you should understand that MUN will and can bring a whole lot of change in your lives, man. It is a kind of experience which one should experience in his life once at least, because you are kind of meeting with different kinds of people. You come across different perspectives on the same thing, and which kind of expands your view, man. It's just like you just embrace tolerance. You just accept other people's view, and that's one thing which helped me along the way. It has had a huge impact in my life, in my career interviews and every other stuffs. And first and foremost, I was introvert, and doing money has helped me to ease that stuff. Now I'm a good orator. I'm not bragging, but I still can say that I have no stage fear as such, and it increases your confidence, man. It increases your research capability. You can go on researching and increasing your knowledge in different areas. So, hello, Ashwin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I guess we were cut off a bit in your a bit in what you said. Can you just repeat some of the stuff? As in, you were talking about how good an orator you were. So I guess if you can repeat what you said from there on in the same sense, I guess we can get that on uh, record again.
Okay, Ashwin, I'm sorry for the internet connection being lost. It's my problem, I guess. Okay, and if it was not for the orator characteristics in me, I would not have been able to pull off event as so large as the GCB MUN, where I had to give so much speeches in front of the whole colleges, helping them understand what an MUN is, telling the faculty what an MUN is. So that part of oration and presentation skills, trying to make people come into your, what we do in MUN stuff, with lobbying and such kind of thing. And apart from being an orator, as I mentioned earlier, it helps to improve your confidence, man. It helps to improve your researching skills. It helps to improve your all the soft skills per se, which people are pursuing outside by paying a huge amount. They are trying to improve their soft skills, which we can actually improve by attending 2 or 3 months, man. It's just an it's so vibrant exposure in MUN you get from different people of the country, from different people of the society. You get to hear their perspective, as I already said. It's kind of enriching, as which experiences of which you yourself can share with the audience, I think.
Yes, true. As in the amount of people you interact with, the amount of stories they have to tell you, the amount of you know, you might find a person who's in a fourth year of your engineering, or maybe another person who's maybe in say finance or anything else, and maybe you feel some kind, I mean, a point of life where you're confused, and you meet that person, and he tries to convince, he tells you that whatever he's doing is quite interesting. Then what happens is you change into as in you find what you really want to do. So that's something that months have helped me as such, as in not I just took finance as an example, since Adishankar here is into that. So that's some
Like
one advantage.
adding to your point, man. I used to be astonished by the way school children used to render their speeches in the committee, man.
True.
It's so enriching, man. I see myself during my school days just like a child learning about school stuff. Meanwhile, children here are debating about international stuff. So it's quite interesting.
Yes, true. Yeah, moving on, Adishankar. As in, with respect to what you just said, the research part. All right, it's very important to someone who's coming for an MUN. Um, the research, your research binder, or whatever information you have. Um, how, according to you, should a person research before coming to an MUN um, conference? Do you think there are a certain methodologies that they should follow, or can you tell us what you follow before any MUN, uh, Adishankar?
Okay, Ashwin, I think I didn't heard the full question. Anyway, I understand that it was about researching. Okay, about researching and its methods. What I used to follow was like I used to read the newspapers daily, so I could get uh, get the get to know about the stuffs happening around me internationally per se. And before attending an MUN, I would start my preparation like 1 to 2 weeks before by reading general stuffs and then moving into then finding out the questions which can be raised, finding out the motions which can be raised in a MUN committee, and researching more about the same what the countries have done on the same topic, and finding out points to debate them. And it was just deep knowledge, not just cursory reading, just reading and reading into the matter and finding out different perspective to it. Like we all know India got independence. For example, we all know India got independence. It is that Pakistan also got independence in 1947. So like that, from seeing the research, doing the research by looking into it from two different points or many. That's one thing.
All right. Do you have any particular resources or any particular website that you use other than the other than the normal ones that the executive board prescribes in the background guide? Do you find anything else in the any constant website that you've been going through in your research for MUNs?
Regarding the website, since Reuters and the government channels, those are the only two things which the committee accepts as a source. So I'll read the stuffs from many sources, and I'll go to Reuters or UN committees, or the government released newses. And if that thing exists there, I will download that sheet. And when I make my point, I could present this as a proof. And other than that, I used to check at there's a site called The Diplomat, which is find you I found useful. And recently, I can say that the Jairam from your MEC Mansokh, he writes so many stuffs. So people doing MUN right now, the blogs written by Jairam is a very good source for money. I think he invests a lot of time into researching for writing the stuff, and I should appreciate that thing. The blogs by MUN Talk, the blog by MUN Talk, I really appreciate that. The people who are putting the effort behind it, I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Uh, to all the viewers, this was not a paid plug for MUNners Daily. That is the that is the um, blog he is talking about. That is MEC Man Society's blog. Feel free to go check it out. MUNners Daily on Medium. Anyway, moving on. Thank you for that valuable sources that you've just told us. Moving on, Adishankar, looking into looking into an conference, there are hundreds of committees. There are amazing agendas here and there. There are good EBs out there too. But a first timer even some experienced delegates are really confused as to which committee they need to select. Is there any criteria that you use to select the committee? Is there anything that you think that a person should look into while selecting their committee and also giving them their portfolio for that particular committee? Do you have any advice as such?
So for me, Ashwin, I like the UNHRC and UNGA committee were the most, which I like the most. And so whenever I was trying to go for an MUN, I look into that if these two committees are there, or if in particular any other special committees are there, like man, okay, I think like okay, I'll check this out, and then I'll go for the judges, the chairpersons, who are the chairpersons. And if I don't know about their quality, I'll check with people like I sometimes I think I have called you also regarding to identify the worth of this chairperson, if it would be beneficial attending his committee. And yeah, chairpersons do play a lot of part in making a committee beneficial. So you yourself are a good chairperson, I can say that. You're a good manner. You have won prizes by going for Malaysia Union, if I'm right. So yeah, chairpersons do play a great role in making a committee good. And regarding the topic which are being published, I usually prefer those topics which there is lot of things to talk about. Not just we see committees after say for a half day or a day, the committee being just entering into a dormant state and talking about the stuff that are being already talked about without any order. So I usually go for those topics which can have a lot of things to say about. So that's one. That's the second thing I look into before selecting a committee.
Valuable advice, Adishankar. Thank you so much. Um, right, moving on as such. All right, you've as a GCB is concerned, Adishankar is a person who laid the foundations or basically sowed the seeds of mining culture in GCB as such. Um, but my question is with regard to how has manning or being in the circuit helped you in college as such, not in your career, but helped you in your college with respect to the interaction you have with your teachers, with respect to the interaction you have with different clubs. I know that you've been in the placement coordinator in your college, and how has manning helped you in molding yourself and transforming into different, wearing different caps at the same time. Adishankar.
So Ashwin, yeah, in the college, I should say that my college there are lot of technical clubs in the college. There are lots of startup clubs in the college, and my college is known for being one of the top colleges promoting startups. There are so many startups happening from the college, and so what I was saying that there are so many technical clubs in my college, and it was my wish to start a non-technical club like MUN that actually resulted in GCBMU. So let that thing be there. And talking about the way I interacted with the teachers, yes, man, the placement coordinator, Mr. Ramesh sir, he selected me on knowing that, okay, I go for this MUN stuffs and I can know about many things while interacting with the placement people who are coming for the placement when no, the company representatives and the though the teachers and the students may not be knowing about the MU and the I had seen that the company representatives know about what is an MUN, and they usually suddenly hearing about MUN, they kind of get that feeling. Okay, they know me somewhere, like as if you get that feeling of responsibility, and they will entrust me with the things uh, that is supposed to be done during the placement time. So yeah, that was it. Teachers too have helped me during the college times for attendance issues when I attended MUNs, and yeah, that's it, Ashwin.
With respect to that, as such, um, again, continuing from that question, you said it helped you and all that, but thing is, with respect to a lot of colleges, the issue is there is a group of people, all right, in a single batch who are really interested, and then what happens is they might start a club or not, but they so just like what you did, you transferred your interest to a couple of juniors as such. uh, all right, but certain colleges may not have that freedom, or some juniors may not take it up. So my question to you is, how did you basically inculcate that money culture within your college? How did you encourage more people to join your club, and how did GCB Munstock as such, as it exists today, um, how did it come into play, the formation, the story, how did it come up, Adishankar?
Well, Ashwin, talking about how I inculcated, how I uh, nudged my juniors into doing this thing. That's where my orator skill came into play. I had to go into every class from S1 to S8 and render speeches. My throat would get dry, and I had to make them feel like, okay, college is not just about studying stuff. There is much of a world outside your books, and I had to tell them like MUN can improve your soft skills. Soft skills are necessary for your during your placement interview times. And I used to tell them render them long speeches and make them get that feeling that okay, I need this for my success in my life. So it's that is one part, and the second part is that after telling all these stuffs, I will make them attend any particular MUNs. Okay, so a part of the MUN success lies in the uh, that feeling you get from the first MUN you attend. Just like I previously said, because TKM MUN was so I found it so meaningful or so worthy enough, it gave me a kind of feeling to attend more MUNs. So that's one part. If your first MUN is not that good, people will lose that interest. And fortunately for me, MUN, thank God for MUN, GCB MUN being a success. For many of the juniors, GCB MUN was their first MUN, and they like that MUN. They like the chairperson, they like the committee, and which made them feel like they want to attend more MUNs, and that kind of that feeling instilled uh, you know they themselves went to juniors and tell that you should do money. It could actually increase your soft skills and stuff like that. So that is being passed along different juniors should be a good word. Like MUN is a good thing. It can increase your so and so skills. It can have this much importance in your life, in your career. So that's how I think it will be circulated, or that culture will remain in our college. And for talking about the same, I think recently because of the lockdown, I am finding a kind of break in that thing. People may not be able to experience the real world other than online MUNs. Real world MUN is a special feeling which Ashwin, you know how it is. A real world MUN is from an online differ from an online MUN. So yeah, that is the thing.
I would like to say I attended GCB MUN as a outsider. I came in randomly on a day, and Adishankar was grateful enough to accept me, and I did guest delegate in one of the committees. It was a well executed MUN as such. Kudos to you and your team. Uh, and for setting up for setting up such a great team afterwards and holding recent Eman, I guess, was hell amazing. Also, I've heard amazing reviews about the Eman too. Yeah. All right. That was something with regard to your college and how it, helped you with regard to setting up your juniors. And another thing that we spoke earlier is with regard to the career. But I've heard, apart from a lot of my lot of our mutual friends, that when you talk about MUNs, as Adishankar talks about MUNs, he focuses on the fact that MUNs have played a huge role in your career as such, as we've been talking about it earlier before this interview. Can you please tell us how MUN helped in your career, in your interview per se? I've heard stories where you've used MUNs to coax the whole interview panel to your side. Can we hear that story for the viewers here, Harishankar?
Yeah, sure, Ashwin. Uh, you know, doing MUN itself per se cannot be used to coax the interview board. It's that what you do in an MUN. You know, while doing an MUN, we research about things. If, for example, it is ECOFIN, you are attending an ECOFIN committee, you need to learn about more financial stuffs. You need to learn about the country economic side, or for example, let it be an UNHRC, then you will learn about the human, you know, that aspect of your countryside. And different committees, you learn about different things. And talking with the friends like you, Ashwin, we people learn about different other qualities, different other things. For example, what do you say, the way you interact with the society, the way you, that feeling of fear of interacting with a stranger will be gone. You know, you can easily befriend a person, completely stranger in front of you, if you have that ability to befriend a completely stranger, then half of the interview stuff is finished, man. The interview is on your side. Don't let people, the person who is interviewing you, take the lead. You yourself should take the lead. You should make the people who are interviewing you, you should lead them to those points in which you are interested. Keeping mum, or not trying to befriend them, or not talking enough, will take you to that direction in which the person, interviewer, uh, is interested. Okay. So first of all, in an interview, you should tell them, like, this is my area. You, if you want to ask me questions from this side. No, directly. You should not tell that directly. Indirectly, you should make them feel like that. Okay, if I say, I mean, I know about financial stuff about the country. I'm interested in international relations. Okay, they get that feeling. Okay, let's check them. Let's check his diplomacy side or international relations side. And the funny thing to note is that they themselves might not be knowing about these things. They will, if he tells something to them, they will be asking like, "Oh, is it? We have not heard something like that." Means like they're testing us. It's my only advice is that just be confident with whatever you're saying and say it very clearly. That's the only thing I should say. So that's about the interview part. And just like previously mentioned, many of these in the people who are interviewing us, they will be they have interviewed so much people in their career life. And more than any other faculty we meet, these people know a lot of about MUNs. So they themselves, I think, might have experienced the difference what a person who has attended an MUN has brought about in their organization, which is why they might be more lean towards, you know, they know the importance of MUN. So usually when they meet a person who has a background in that stuff, they kind of what do you say? it's half the job is done then and there itself. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, those are valuable advices for all those people over there looking to go for interviews and all that. And yeah, again, he gotten through the interview because of the skills he learned through the MUN, as Adishankar told us right now. Moving on, Adishankar, there has been a lot of experiences, or the committee sessions, the socials after that, and a lot of mutual interactions during an MUN. Can you tell us what are your best fondest memories about an MUN? Tell me which committee you went, which MUN it was, and can you tell us which is your best experience? Let me put it that way: your best experience in your mining career till now.
As you might know, Ashwin, every MUN are special for us. And in particular, if I am asking, uh, I should say that I like the Maze month, one of the oldest MUNs in Kerala. When I attended that Maze month, I like that month mainly because, as I previously mentioned, the chairperson was very much beneficial, it was a woman, and she was kind of, what do you say, we just kind of like the way she was chairing the committee, and that was a good experience in the committee. And outside of the committee, the most I liked was probably the Bangalore Christmas, mainly because it's Bangalore and chilling. That's the outside committee. I like the Bangalore MUN, that is the Christmas. I like that. And yeah, that's it. And Ashwin, which were your most cherished experience during MUN life?
As in committee per se, I guess the E-Man in Trivandrum CET, as in even though the committee was not very experienced or anything, there were a lot of first timers, and there were a couple of experienced delegates. There was actual debate, even though the executive board members were quite inexperienced. It was their first or second time chairing. So even though they felt that the committee went really well. I mean, there was actual discussion going on inside committee. There was actual debate, as in usually in committees as of now, what you listen to is basically a power delegate coming there, trashing everybody down in their speeches, and the rest of the delegates, okay, fine, okay, this guy speaks too much, let's go with him, kind of like a vibe. But then that even I felt was there was actual discussion. There were different blocks. There were three different blocks, and there were no motions being passed um, uh, because of the amount of lobbying that was done that side. And if believe it or not, at the end of the day, there was a resolution too that was passed. All right, there was a time inside committee where there was not even a single motion being passed, and then at the end of the day, a resolution being passed with a clear majority. All right, so committees like that give you the thrill and help you to understand what MUNs are. And it was like my second MUN or so, and it actually paved me two more MUNs for me. So that was like in committee vibe that I had. And outside committee, yes, Christ was amazing. Uh, the one in Malaysia was amazing, Kuala Lumpur. As in, it was all fun, and plus the ones over here too. Everything was more of interaction with people, meeting people like you, Adishankar. As in, the our friend circle has it's spread throughout Kerala. So and at certain points we had more interaction than maybe somebody in our same class as such. All right, so things like that really those are one of the best experiences. And plus, if you look into the food part, was all right. TKM1 TKM1 was amazing, right? So that's what. So those are something that I remember and I will always cherish in my mind as a manner as such. And I mean, closing today's interview session as such. Um, Adishankar, do you have any advice for fellow manners? be it experienced or first timers? Any advice from a seasoned manner and secretary general like you?
Well, Ashwin, thank you for that. As an advice for you guys, I'm pretty sure that most of the MUNners will be from college, engineering college in Kerala. And to those people, my dear friends, just don't be, involved too much with your academics. Just go out, just do some MUNs, just learn, do some extracurricular activities. Le- MUN can be a part of that. But my advice is that just don't be too much involved with academic stuff. Of course, you must have mark in your academics, but apart from that, do some months, do some extracurricular activities, learn one or two foreign languages, travel a lot, travel with your friends. And speaking specifically about MUN, go for as much MUNs as you can during your college life, man. Just meet different people from different parts of the country, maybe from different parts of the world. Attend many MUNs, just like Ashwin did. Go for Malaysia, go for international months. Okay, that will be like an eye opener for you. It will change your life. What do you say? The way you see the world, it will change the entire perspective. I'm telling this, I'm experienced this. That's why I'm telling this all of you this. And yeah, do the research. At the end of the day, you are going to MUN for debate or participation in an MUN, so that you should have some knowledge about the thing you are going to talk in an MUN. So do some research. Uh, Give some valuable input to the committee. Just don't sit in an MUN mum. Just talk, man. It doesn't matter what you're talking is right or not. Just talk. Involve the committee. Make the people talk more. Make the people, what do you say, pass more resolutions. Make it lively. That's what I would say in being in an MUN. And apart from that, generally, as I previously mentioned, just don't get too much involved with your academic stuff. It's what that you learn apart from your academics that count after your graduation. Yeah. Thank you, Ashwin.
Thank you, Adishankar, for accepting our invitation, coming here, and telling us all this from your experience. We wish the very best in all your future endeavors, and wishing all the best to GCB, MUN, and GCB Monk Society from my side and MEC MUN Society's side. Thank you so much, Adishankar.
Thank you, Ashwin, so much, and all the best for MEC Mansop, and all the best for all the immune societies around Kerala. Yeah, all the best, Ashwin.